Remember, the greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. Welcome to the journey of overcoming obstacles, drawing lessons from unlikely heroes. Unlikely heroes, a concept as old as storytelling itself, are those individuals who, despite not being the strongest or the most confident, manage to achieve feats that others cannot. They are characters like Pierre Bezukhov from Tolstoy's War and Peace and Frodo from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. They are real-life figures like Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, who rallies his people amidst the chaos of invasion. These heroes teach us that courage and determination are the true keys to overcoming obstacles, not brute strength or overwhelming confidence. So, as we embark on this journey together, let's delve deeper into these lessons and see how we can apply them to our own lives. Firstly, embrace your unique strengths, just like Frodo from The Lord of the Rings. This little hobbit, who loved nothing more than a peaceful life in the Shire, was thrust into a world of danger and uncertainty. Yet it wasn't his physical strength or battle skills that helped him overcome the odds. It was his courage, his tenacity, and his unwavering commitment to his mission. You see, Frodo had a unique strength that many overlooked: his heart. Despite his small stature and lack of traditional strengths, he had an unwavering spirit that drove him forward, even when the odds seemed insurmountable. He was a testament to the fact that strength comes in many forms, often in ways we least expect. Perhaps your unique strength is your creativity, your resilience, your empathy, or even your ability to make others laugh. Whatever it may be, don't underestimate it. Instead, harness it, nurture it, and let it guide you in your journey to overcome obstacles. Remember, we are all equipped with unique strengths that make us who we are. These qualities define us and set us apart. They are our secret weapons in the face of adversity, our guiding lights in the darkness. So embrace your unique strengths and let them shine. Never underestimate your unique strengths, for they may be your greatest asset in overcoming obstacles. Secondly, turn your weakness into strength. Let's take a leaf from the book of Pierre Bezukhov from Tolstoy's epic War and Peace. Pierre was far from the traditional mold of a hero. He was awkward, clumsy, and often lost in his thoughts. Yet it was these very qualities that made him remarkable. His awkwardness made him approachable, his clumsiness made him resilient, and his introspective nature made him wise. In the grand scheme of things, Pierre was not the strongest nor the bravest, but his perceived weaknesses became his greatest strengths. His unique perspective and approach to life's challenges set him apart and ultimately led him to triumph. Like Pierre, we all have our own set of weaknesses. But remember, it's not about eradicating these weaknesses, but rather transforming them. Embrace them and find a way to make them work for you. Your perceived weaknesses can become your greatest strengths if you learn to leverage them. Thirdly, value courage over confidence. Now, what does this really mean? In our world, we often mistake confidence for strength. We tend to admire those who strut with bravado, who speak with assertiveness, who seem to hold the world in the palm of their hand. Yet in our heart of hearts, we know that confidence can be fleeting, can be shaken. But let's look at our unlikely heroes. They may not always be the most confident. They may not have the loudest voices or the strongest physique. But what they do have in abundance is courage. Courage is that quiet voice at the end of the day saying, "I will try again tomorrow." It's the willingness to stand up when it would be easier to stay down. It's the strength to move forward when all odds are stacked against you. So take a leaf out of the book of unlikely heroes. Let's not focus on being the most confident in the room. Instead, let's strive to be the most courageous, because it is not confidence but courage that helps us face our fears, overcome our obstacles, and make a positive change in the world. Remember, courage is the true key to overcoming obstacles. Fourthly, remember that persistence pays. The unlikely heroes we celebrate didn't reach their goals overnight. Each step they took was met with a wall of obstacles. Yet they never backed down. They understood that the journey was not about sprinting to the finish line, but rather about enduring the marathon. They knew that the path to success is often littered with failures, rejections, and disappointments. But they also knew that each stumble, each setback, was a stepping stone towards their goal. They recognize that the power to persist, to keep moving forward despite the odds, is the real key to overcoming obstacles. They were steadfast, relentless, and tireless. They showed us that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. And so they persisted, demonstrating that the true measure of success lies not in the speed of our achievements, but in the strength of our resolve. Persistence is a powerful tool in overcoming obstacles. Fifthly, embrace failure. In the stories of our unlikely heroes, failure is not the antagonist, but often a stepping stone to success. It's a misunderstood companion on the journey to greatness. When we stumble, we're given a chance to learn, to adapt, to improve. It is the forge in which our resolve is tested and our courage is strengthened. Consider Frodo from Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. He didn't embark on his journey because he was the strongest, the bravest, or the most skilled. But every time he fell, he picked himself up, learned from his mistakes and pressed on. His failures were the crucible that transformed him into a hero. Failure, my friends, is not the end. It's merely the plot twist that leads us to our own heroic transformation. It is the teacher who, though stern, leads us to wisdom. So take heart and embrace failure. Welcome it as the guide it is, leading you on your path to overcoming obstacles. Don't fear failure, for it can be a valuable teacher in your journey to overcome obstacles. Sixthly, believe in yourself. This is a message echoed through the tales of unlikely heroes that we've discussed. It's not about having an inflated sense of self-worth or ego, but rather a deep, unwavering inner conviction that you are capable of overcoming whatever obstacle stands in your path. Consider Frodo from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. Despite the daunting task of destroying the One Ring, he never lost faith in his ability to complete his mission. Even when faced with the towering peaks of Mount Doom, his belief in himself never wavered. Similarly, Pierre Bezukhov from Tolstoy's War and Peace found his own strength amidst the chaos of war. He wasn't the most likely hero, but his steadfast belief in himself transformed him into one. So, let's take a page from these unlikely heroes. Let's believe in our ability to overcome, to grow, and to triumph, no matter what the odds. Because when you believe in yourself, truly and deeply, you unlock a power within you that is greater than any obstacle. Believe in yourself even when no one else does. Scene script. Seventhly, don't hesitate to seek support. Even the most resilient of heroes understand the value of reaching out in times of adversity. Picture Pierre Bezukhov from Tolstoy's War and Peace. He didn't face his trials alone. He had a network of companions who provided him with assistance, advice, and encouragement. Or consider Frodo from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. He didn't make his perilous journey to Mount Doom by himself. He had the fellowship. You see, seeking support doesn't diminish the magnitude of your achievements. It's quite the contrary. It shows your wisdom and humility in acknowledging that we all need help sometimes. Let's not forget that we are social creatures. We thrive on connection, collaboration, and shared experiences. So whether it's a mentor to guide you, a friend to encourage you, or a community to stand with you, don't shy away from seeking support when you need it. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a strength. Eighthly, be adaptable. This lesson, my friends, is one of the most vital. Life is a river, ever-changing, ever-flowing, and the ones who navigate its currents best are those who can adjust their sails with the wind. Take a leaf out of the book of the unlikely heroes. These individuals, often underestimated and overlooked, demonstrate an extraordinary ability to adapt. They are not bound by rigid ways of thinking or a single approach to problem solving. When faced with challenges, they shift, they pivot, they change tack. They reassess the situation, consider their resources, and adapt their strategies as necessary. Let's think about Frodo from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. Despite his small stature and seemingly insignificant position, he was able to carry the heavy burden of the One Ring and navigate the treacherous path to Mount Doom. But how? It was his ability to adapt, to change his plans when necessary, that saw him through. So remember this. Being rigid can break you, but being adaptable can make you. It's about being flexible, being open to change, and having the ability to adjust to new circumstances. It's about seeing obstacles not as impassable walls, but as challenges to be navigated. Being adaptable can help you overcome any obstacle that comes your way. Ninthly, never give up. A simple phrase, yet one of the most powerful in our vocabulary. It's the mantra of those who have faced the seemingly insurmountable and emerged victorious. Consider the unlikely heroes, those who may not have been the strongest or most confident, but they were the most determined. Take Pierre Bezukhov from Tolstoy's War and Peace, or Frodo from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. They were not warriors or kings, but ordinary individuals who were thrown into extraordinary circumstances. They were faced with obstacles that would have made the bravest souls quiver, but they never gave up. They kept going, step by step, day by day. Perseverance and determination are not about never falling. They're about getting back up every time you fall. It's about taking the hard hits, the disappointments, the failures, and using them as fuel to push forward. It's about understanding that every setback is a setup for a comeback. It's the stubborn refusal to quit that defines a true hero. It's the grit and resilience to look adversity in the face and say, I will not be defeated. It's the courage to keep going, no matter how tough the journey gets. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the size of the hero, but the size of the heart within the hero. Remember, the key to overcoming obstacles is never giving up. Lastly, harness the power of positivity. It's the secret weapon of every unlikely hero. A positive mindset is not just about seeing the world through rose-tinted glasses. It's about believing in the possibility of success, even in the face of adversity. Remember Pierre Bezukhov from Tolstoy's War and Peace? Or Frodo from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy? What made them heroes was not their physical prowess, but their unwavering positivity. They believed in their missions, they believed in their cause, and most importantly, they believed in themselves. In real life too, we see figures like Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, radiating positivity amidst the hardest of trials. They teach us that no obstacle is too large, no challenge too great, if we face it with a positive spirit. Positivity gives us the strength to persist, the courage to continue, and the resilience to bounce back. Remember, a positive mindset can turn mountains into molehills. We've journeyed through the lessons from unlikely heroes and learned how to overcome obstacles. We've discovered the power of embracing our unique strengths and turning our weaknesses into strengths. We've been reminded of the importance of courage over confidence and how persistence always pays off. We've learned to embrace failure as a stepping stone to success and to believe in ourselves even when the odds are stacked against us. We've seen the value of seeking support, being adaptable and never giving up, no matter how tough the journey gets. And lastly, we've understood the transformative power of positivity in our lives. Let's not just listen to these lessons, but apply them in our own lives, in our own unique ways. Let's become our own unlikely heroes, overcoming obstacles and creating positive changes in our world. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more inspirational content. Remember, the greatest glory lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall.